Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of 6th of March 2023. Essence. Sweet children, the Father gives you new knowledge for the new world through which the Sun Dynasty clan is established. You are now becoming the masters of that clan. Question: which firm faith should you have so that you can easily claim your right to the inheritance? Answer: first of all, have the faith that the same unlimited Baba has come to create heaven. While at work, remember that you are the children of that Baba, that when you become the masters of heaven, you will have infinite happiness and you will easily have a right to the inheritance. The mercury of infinite happiness of those who have firm faith will always be high. If you don't have happiness, you can understand that the faith you have isn't even worth a few pennies. Song from the day we met. Om Shanti. Whose praise is this? That of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He is called the Supreme Beloved, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the one who resides in the Supreme Abode. You children are experienced. Those whom the Supreme Father has made belong to Him. You children have then made the Supreme Father belong to you. Param brackets Supreme means the one beyond. It is in your intellects that you souls reside in the Supreme Abode with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. No one in the world has this knowledge. They consider themselves to be forms of God, and so no knowledge remains. When that Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, comes and meets you, He speaks new things for the new world. There are new days and new nights in the new world. In the old world, there are old days and old nights. There are also many types of sorrow. The majority is unhappy. At night they use the sword of lust and continue to commit sin during the day. In the new world, there is constant happiness. This surely stays in your intellects. There is the kingdom of the Sun Dynasty, Lakshmi and Narayan in the new world. It is not said to be the kingdom of princes and princesses. It is said to be the kingdom of kings and queens. Truly, there is the dynasty of Sri Lakshmi and Narayan in the golden age. Because it is heaven, there is a lot of happiness. You are making effort for that happiness. That is a pure kingdom. The Father is making you into the masters of that new world. At that time, there is no other dynasty or religion in the world. When you explain to people, make them write down that these things are true. By your making them revise it repeatedly, they will have the faith that the king, queen, and subjects truly are all pure in the new world, new pure world. They all are constantly happy. Now they have constant sorrow. It is at the confluence age that you can compare what there is at the end of the iron age with what there will be at the beginning of the golden age. What there is today with what there will be tomorrow. The unlimited night is now coming to an end. Then tomorrow in the day, you will rule the kingdom. Today, there is an impure world, and tomorrow there will be a pure world. All the sages and holy men sing. The purifier is Rama, who belongs to Sita. When you hear them singing this, ask them, whom do you remember as the purifier? Who is impure and who will purify that one? What is the impure world like and what is the pure world like? Surely the one who purifies the impure will come and purify you and take you to the pure world. The end of the iron age is called the impure world, and the beginning of the golden age is called the pure world. Everyone remembers him alone. The pure world is heaven, and so it is definitely the incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who establishes heaven. It is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who is the creator of the pure world, heaven. There is no praise of the creator of hell, brackets Ravan. People continue to burn his effigy. People don't know him, but they have named him Ravan. There cannot be a human being like that. Human beings take rebirth and continue to change their names and forms. The name and form of Ravan never changes. There are always 10 heads. Every year they continue to increase it by about 6 inches because Ravan continues to get bigger. He is Tamopradhan and they continue to burn him. You now understand who makes you impure. These 5 vices are called Ravan. They cause you sorrow and make you impure. Therefore, renounce these vices. Sages and holy men, etc., generally take these vices as a donation. They say, okay, give me your habit of telling lies. For lust, they generally say that you are allowed to indulge in vice once or twice a month. However, here it is a question of all 5 vices. If you simply catch hold of one thief, another thief would come to steal. So it is very easy to explain this to anyone. It is said a sinful soul or a great soul. It is never said impure supreme soul or great supreme soul. So who would purify souls? They would definitely point to God and their vision would go upwards. But when would he come? What is his name? Shiv Jayanti is very well known in Bharat. His name is Shiva. He is not given any other name. Only the lingam image enters their intellects. When they speak of Somnath, the image of a lingam enters their intellects. You souls now know that the Supreme Soul is also a star like you. Stars are also called astral deities. They are not astral gods. You are astral stars. You cannot be called God. So the Supreme Soul is a point. But how would He be worshipped? Therefore, people on the path of devotion created the lingam image. He isn't anything as large as that. Souls don't grow larger or smaller. Therefore, it is wrong to make him large. No human being has accurate knowledge of the Supreme Soul. These things are very subtle. They ask if he is an extremely tiny point, so can we remember him? Oh, it is very easy for a soul to remember his father. It is just that the Father's praise is unique. Souls are all the same. Good and bad, elevated and degraded sanskars are in each soul. Knowledge is in souls. A soul is so tiny. People become poor or rich, but that too is according to the sanskars of souls. You children have all of this knowledge in your intellects. People don't know God, and this is why they don't have knowledge of souls. They have wrongly considered God to be omnipresent. The soul imbibes all of this. A soul shades a body and takes another according to his sanskars. This soul is saying this. People consider themselves to be human beings when they speak. Here, you have to practice considering yourselves to be souls. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching us souls. People say that souls are immune to the effect of action. If souls are immune, where are the sanskars recorded? They are very confused. The Father has to give this knowledge for the new world. Human beings living in the old world cannot give this knowledge. Therefore, you have to know the Father. Devotees have to claim their inheritance from God. Devotion has continued. They continue to look for God in the pebbles and stones. They believe that everyone is a form of God. In fact, all are brothers. All human beings from Lakshmi and Narayan onwards are brothers or brothers and sisters because they are children of Prajapita Brahma. If you say that they are children of Shiva, they are incorporeal souls. The children of Brahma are physical brothers and sisters. Then when they live in a household, they forget the consciousness of brother and sister. If they knew, they would not indulge in vice. The Father is now telling you once again, do not indulge in vice. You are children of the one Father, brothers and sisters. Brahma is now sitting in front of you. You are his children, BKs. This is the way to stay in a household and also remain pure. There is the example of Janak. First of all, have faith in every respect that the Father has come to create heaven. If this arrow strikes them, they will instantly belong to the Father. The Father says, belong to me and I will make you into a master of heaven. You have the faith that that is the same unlimited Father. We will definitely claim our inheritance. Man mana bhav, madhyaji bhav. These are such simple matters. While at your businesses, let your intellects remain aware that you are the children of Baba and that you are to become the masters of heaven, and you will then experience happiness. This is the cycle of 84 births. The cycle of 84 births is only of Sun dynasty deities. You know that you are spinners of the discus of self-realization. By only speaking of the cycle, you cannot explain the births. This is why you have to say that you are the spinners of the discus of self-realization who know the cycle of 84 births. So you would then remember the Father and also the 5 ages. We are now going to heaven. Our 84 births have now come to an end. Continue to spin the cycle. Let your intellects continue to spin while you continue to work for your livelihood. Baba has told you to give the knowledge of the discus of self-realization to his devotees. When you explain to them, they would instantly have the faith that they truly do take 84 births. If someone is not going to take 84 births, he would not be able to imbibe this. The meaning of 84 births is that you will first go into the Sun dynasty. If someone hears even a little knowledge, he will definitely go to heaven. But he will not take 84 births. He might still come later. Then he would not take 84 births. These are such subtle matters of knowledge. There are so many karmic accounts. Nevertheless, the Father says, okay, if you are unable to understand the deep significance of this, then at least belong to the Father and claim your inheritance. We are Shiv Baba's children. Have the intoxication that He is the creator of heaven. However, Maya doesn't allow this to stay. Some say it is not difficult to remember the Father and the inheritance. What can Maya do to us? We will definitely claim our inheritance. These are such easy matters. When the arrow strikes some, they have a lot of happiness by remembering the Father and the inheritance. Until you have that happiness, Baba would say that the faith you have is only worth a few pennies. The mercury of happiness of those who have firm faith is always high. If a king doesn't have a son, he would say I will adopt the first one to enter the fortress. Then a queue forms. There are queues even at matches. There are even queues for bottles of milk. In order to be the first one in the queue, they go and stand there early in the morning. Otherwise, they understand that they would have to wait in the queue. So here too, there is a queue to become a garland around Baba's neck. Everything depends on effort. To remember the Father is a race of the intellect. However, you can continue to do your work, etc. Let the hearts of your souls continue to remember the Father, while your hands continue to work. Lovers and beloveds don't just sit down somewhere. They continue to do their work, etc., while their intellects are connected to one another. Therefore, here too, your intellects have to be connected to the one who makes us into the masters of heaven. Whatever time you have, continue to make effort for this. You also have to live at home with your families. This is not renunciation of karma. You definitely have to do everything for your livelihood. The Father has now entered the body of Brahma and says, I am your Father. I am making you into the masters of the world. Will you not make me belong to you? You belong to me. So have yoga with me. Otherwise, you won't be able to come to my land or go to heaven. If you don't remain pure even after belonging to me, you would defame my name, and there would also be a lot of punishment. Those who defame the name of the Sadguru cannot go through the gates to heaven. Acha, love, remembrance, and good morning to the long lost and now found children from Bap Dada, the mother and father, from whom you claim your inheritance of constant happiness of heaven and your fortune of the kingdom by becoming spinners of the discus of self-realization. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children says Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharana. Number 1. In order to become a garland around the Father's neck, make your intellect race on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Second, while doing everything for your livelihood, spin the discus of self-realization. Never defame the Sadguru. Don't perform any actions that would defame the Father's name. Blessing, may you be constantly cooperative and by using whatever remains of your body, mind and wealth for God's task. Accumulate multi-millions. Number 1. In the memorial of the Govardhan mountain being lifted, each one's finger has been sewn. This is a symbol of your cooperation. In this image, the Father's company and also His service has been shown. You children have now become cooperative with Bap Dada, and this is why the memorial has been created. You lost 99% of whatever you used in devotion in terms of your body, mind and wealth. So use the remaining 1% for God's task with an honest heart, and you will once again accumulate multi-millions. Slogan, those who are humble automatically receive everyone's respect. Slogan, those who are humble automatically receive everyone's respect. Om Shanti.